do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. We put about you, we put about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know when love pass through. It's all about the gospel. So tell me back one from campus. Youths are going on from campus. Come on, tell me campus connection. Yeah, that's a yeah, hey, I walk on from campus, and we are carrying out from campus. Come, let me walk on, I walk on, hey, walk on, everybody walk on.
All right. Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Campus Connection. It's so very good to have each and every one of you listening or watching. If you're watching the live stream, I am so elated that you would have taken the time out to join us this evening. I am Jonathan Fletcher, and I'll be your host for this evening's program. And I trust and hope that you will go ahead and call somebody, text somebody, share the live stream with somebody. Let them know that Campus Connection is on the family station Love 101. Or you can watch us live on Facebook or on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Please, when you jump on, just leave a comment, share the live stream, and of course, click the like button. But we have such an amazing show for you this evening, a very intriguing one, if you will. We'll be talking about academic burnout, something that is super important, and I'm very happy that we are taking the time out to discuss this, because many of our campus sites, a lot of our students are experiencing this without them even realizing that this is what they're actually experiencing. So I'm so elated that we are taking the time out to discuss this evening. And just to give you an understanding of what we'll be getting into this evening, of course, we're going to have education news and bulletin, and then we'll go straight into our honor roll feature with Miss Kitania Headley, head girl of the St. Catherine High School, and Derek Ellis will bring us I Chose Christ, You Should Too, and he's a final year student at the UWI Mona. And then we turn our attention on academic burnout with Nisha Johnson, UWI Mona, Miss DJ and Mills, JP, applied behavioral therapist, and Miss Kitania Headley, head girl of St. Catherine High School. The reality of it all is that we have to explore this and see how best we can help our campus sites to overcome academic burnout, to wade rather through the different waves of academic burnout. What are the different strategies that they can implement to ensure that they don't, lag behind because of academic burnout? And the question we want to ask you, our listeners, our viewers, this evening: what can individuals do to overcome academic burnout or even prevent it from happening to them? You can, of course, share your thoughts with us at Love 101 FM Jamaica on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. And of course, you can send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. You can send a message on WhatsApp. The question is, what can individuals do to overcome academic burnout or even prevent it from happening to them? So that's the question we want to answer this evening. So we trust and hope that you will join in on the conversation. We're going to go straight into our education news and bulletin, and this will be done by Evalicia Sutherland, Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Arts and Technology, UTech. All right. Just as we're just
Education and Youth condemned the incident that left a female teacher with several injuries at Vere Technical High School in Clarendon on Wednesday. According to media sources, the teacher and the parents of a student at the school, along with other student relatives, engaged into a physical dispute on the school grounds, resulting in multiple significant injuries to her face and other parts of her body. Williams shared that she is saddened by the incident and its occurrence on school grounds, where she says safety is crucial. The minister stated that a meeting has been set with the Ministry of Education and Youth, Vere Technical High School instructors, and the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, to discuss the event. Classes suspended at the school on Wednesday when upset teachers staged a sit in, reportedly in protest of the local police's decision to arrest both the parents and the teacher following the incident. The injured teacher is reportedly at home recuperating after the event. The University of the West Indies welcomes Senator Floyd Morris as the first visually handicapped person to be appointed as a full professor at the Noble Institution. Morris will be serving as a professor of disability at the UWI. This is the first appointment of a visually challenged individual to a full professorship in the University of West Indies' 75-year history, and it is believed to be the first of the Caribbean and Latin America. Senator Morris described his appointment as a smashing of the academic glass ceiling by a person with disability in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean. He noted that his appointment to full professorship demonstrates what a person with a disability can achieve when he or she is willing to persevere in the face of adversity. Now for the bulletin. The University of Technology Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies presents the 5th International Conference on Education and the Humanities under the theme The New Frontier: Trends, Possibilities, and Challenges for Education, the Humanities, and the Social Sciences. Date June 4 to 6, 2024. Venue the UTEC Jamaica Papine campus. Keynote speaker Dr. Rohan Jawala, Senior Instructional Designer at the University of Central Florida, USA. For registration and more information, call 876-927-1680, extension 2414, or email intl.conference.fels@gmail.com. Tertiary students, apply for Windalco's Student Employment Program. Positions available in engineering, finance, procurement, IT, HR, and agriculture. Send application forms to summeremployment@rusal.com. Please include area of study in the subject line of your email. Deadline June 14th, 2024. The Michael University College invites students to apply for one of the 250 fully funded scholarships to pursue a bachelor's in education in a STEM subject at the Michael, funded by the Ministry of Education. Calling all 5th and 6th formers, parents, and educators. Areas of study: computer science, biology, chemistry, physics, geography, and environmental studies, industrial technology, mathematics, family, and consumer science. Contact Michael University today to apply. Passion and Purity JA invites you to their youth summer camp from August 7th to August 10th, 2024 at the Rockhampton Hotel, Manor Park area in Kingston. Cost $13,850. That's all the news we have for you today inside Education News and Bulletin.
All right, there you have it. I trust and hope that you would have made note of all the news and bulletin, because we're only here to serve you, our campus sites, to make things better for you as you continue on campus. So thank you, Miss Sutherland, for sharing that bit of information with us. All right, we're going to go straight into our honor roll, and this evening we have Miss Kitania Headley, head girl of the St. Catherine High School. She's a grade 13 student, and of course, she, throughout her time at the St. Catherine High, has attained many accomplishments. Honor roll from grade 7 to present, top student in the cohort from grade 8 to 10, top 5 in graduating class of 2022, co-captain of the girls track and field team for the past 3 seasons, and finalist and medalist at ISA Girls Championships from 2021 to present. Those are just a few things, that Kitania is doing or has done since being at the St. Catherine High School. Kitania, good evening.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you so much for being here. We're so happy to be able to have this conversation with you. But as I was reading your profile, I couldn't help but wonder, how did you manage your studies while being so involved in sports, the track and field and all of that?
Yes, sir. Being involved in sports and managing your academics is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone to do it, they have to be really motivated to continue. So, for me, I was able to balance both by remaining focused and being disciplined, of course, because if you're not, that will not get you anywhere.
I can just
So,
imagine.
as I said before, it's really hard, but because I have such a great support system behind me and they are always there for me, they remind me that why I even started in the first place and remind me of the importance of being consistent and striking a balance.
Love that. Love that. So, this feature is called Honor Roll, and I realized that you have been a part of the school's honor roll from grade 7 to present. I'm sure that has not been an easy thing for you to accomplish. Could you share with our campus sites, our listeners, two strategies that you would have used in order to achieve this kind of success?
Well, to achieve any kind of success does not just require strategy. Again,
Hmm.
it requires discipline. But two of the main ones that I used were good time management skill.
Yeah,
Good time management skill actually helped me to increase my productivity. It helped me to be organized and more efficient with my work. My next one, which is the most important for me, it involves setting my personal goals. And
yes.
when I set my personal goals, these served as a constant reminder. They motivate me, and especially during times when I feel like giving up, I just go back to my book because I write these down in my book and I just read through it and say, yes, kid. And that just keeps propelling me forward.
Love that. Love that. So a lot of self-talk and motivation. I love that. All right. And you
Yes.
touched on time management earlier on, and I'm sure you're very busy, with sports, with your head prefect duties, your regular studies, all of that. How important is it for students to manage their time properly? What are your thoughts?
As I've been told before, time management skill does not begin from, it does not end during your high school days. As you transition into university and your adult life, you'll have a lot of responsibilities that you'll have to take on, and
Yes.
being able to learn how to do this from the beginning will actually help you to just manage and get through those times.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, you are listening to the Honor Roll feature here inside Campus Connection. We're speaking with Kitania Headley, head girl of the St. Catherine High School. She's our honor roll guest this evening. Brilliant young lady. And you want to stick and stay after these messages as we, dive a little deeper into the story of Kitania.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. Right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
Think ahead, make a plan. You got the freedom of choice.
Lark, long-acting reversible contraceptives.
I made my choice 6 years ago. I have an IUCD, also called copper T, and it will go and protect me from pregnancy for another 4 years at least.
My choice was an implant. It lasts for 5 years. And when I'm ready for a baby, I just make doctor take it out. Contact the National Family Planning Board at 9681632 to find out more about the Lark.
Think ahead, make a plan. You got the freedom of choice.
When you say phosphorus, you say electrical. SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say phosphorus, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say phosphorus, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Phosphorus is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Phosphorus.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
We are at the campus heights.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. I am Jonathan Fletcher, your host this evening. And we're talking with Kitania Headley, head girl of the St. Catherine High School. She is our honor roll guest here inside Campus Connection this evening. And before the break, we're talking about some very important, tactics and strategies that students can implement in order to really have a successful academic career. And Kitania was, of course, sharing with us some of the tactics that she would have implemented, seeing that she would have gained, so many accolades. We would have mentioned them earlier, both in academics and in sports, and of course, as a head girl at the St. Catherine High School. But Kitania, you touched a little bit on support system before. How has your family, your friends, helped in ensuring that you remain focused in your studies despite being so involved in school?
So my family in general, my father, my sister, my grandparents,
Yes,
they believe in me a lot, and
love that.
they're always proud of my achievements.
Mm-hmm.
But a big part of what motivates me a lot is that my guardian would always say, Kit, you're worthy and you're worth it. And
Wow,
also yes, sir. And also she would tell me that I have immense potential and that I should use it and make good use of it because I am very talented.
that's powerful. You are worthy and worth it.
Worth it. Yes, sir.
Wow, that is
And
absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm.
you also asked about my friends. My friends motivate me a lot. They have been there through my ups and my downs.
Mm-hmm.
Most times I would feel demotivated and they would just sit down and remind me of all my wonderful qualities and say, Kit, listen, you can do this. And if we know anyone, then we know that you are very strong and you can get through this. So just snap out of it and get working.
Awesome, awesome. And can you just go ahead and share with our listeners finally what can we expect from Kitania? After high school, all of that. What can we expect?
For me, I am looking forward to accepting one of the scholarship offers at a university in the US, and
Mm-hmm.
there I want to pursue a career in healthcare. So I will have to do a pre-med program there before going to med school. And my career path that I want to take is to become a dermatologist. So
Mm-hmm.
I would major in courses there, which will help me to get admission into med school. And then at med school, I'll have to take my test and get into med school. And then after that, I can choose to specialize in anything. So I'm not limiting myself to just dermatologists. I
Yes.
don't know. There's just so much out there. And I'm not going to limit myself to just one thing because eventually my interest or my passion might change.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's where I am at this moment. But alongside that, I am really passionate about pursuing a career in track and field, and hopefully one day I'll become a professional athlete. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason I want to become a professional athlete because when I was younger, I used to watch the Jamaican athletes on national
Yes.
duty, and that really motivate me. They represent their country with such great pride, and they
Yes.
bring yes, and they just put our country on the map. And I've always wanted to do that for Jamaica, so that's where I'm heading.
All right, we are certainly looking forward to the amazing things you'll be able to accomplish both in the near and in the further future. So we really look forward to even calling you Dr. Headley very soon. So all the very best, Kitania, and thank you so much
Yes,
for
sir.
taking the time out to speak with us here inside Campus Connection.
Yes, sir. Thank you as well.
All right, take care. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Kitania Headley, a young lady with promise. She said that her guardian would normally say to her that she is worthy and worth it. I love that. I absolutely love that. I think that is absolutely beautiful. And you can tell that those words are germinating based on the things that she would have been able to accomplish thus far. So, parents, teachers, please let us try as much as possible to sow seeds with our words, positive seeds in the minds of our young people, our campusites, to allow them to seek out and to maximize their fullest potential. Absolutely love that. You are worthy and you are worth it. That's the message that I want to really emphasize for our campusites this evening. All right, so we're going straight into our I Chose Christ feature. We have Derek Ellis, a final year student at UWI Mona, and he'll be sharing his testimony with us.
Good afternoon. I'm Derek Ellis. I'm a final year Econ Master student. I'm so grateful to share how God completely changed my life. It was a journey from feeling lost and alone with God. The true transformation arrived when I was baptized by the Holy Spirit. This experience showed me with an abundance of love, happiness, joy, peace, and freedom. Since then, I've realized the importance of a personal relationship with Christ. Building that personal relationship with Christ brought me up to date with the spiritual side of things and life, which I experience from day to day. So my life began in a place of loneliness and despair dated back to early childhood, enduring toxic family relationships, which had no boundaries that I allowed for years, just left me feeling isolated and unwanted. So, and also witnessing my mother's struggles, as well as the years of bullying at school, only deepened insecurities. So at about 14, 15, I had severe acne, and my peers called me awful names like source up face, frog back. This just let me become focused on my academics, and also the fact that I normally see eye to eye with my teachers. I was termed teacher's pet, and also I was detested for that. So even adults would bombard me with acne remedies, which only added stress to me and made me feel worse. Because at times I forgot about my acne and the fact that somebody just sent me and proposed remedies. They just let me feel worse because it was as if all somebody look at me, all them say is just my acne. So the worst part too was that the alleged cures never worked. So overall, I became withdrawn and averse to forming relationships and keeping everyone at arm's length apart. I felt heavy, sad, and overwhelmed daily, and my mind was like a constant battling ground. And I turned to sad music, which this only further lead to anxieties, lack of confidence, low self-esteem, lead to even more stress and fear and isolation. Yeah, I mean, used to either smoke weed with my cousins and some other youths, and I think over time, I think we did kind of feel like an actor is in, but I kept praying and remembering how God have saved me severally, and till I have to submit to the higher power, right? So I choose Christ. You should too.
Wow, very powerful testimony there from Derek Ellis talking about the transformative power of the Holy Spirit. Thank you so much for being brave enough to share that testimony with us, Derek. We really do appreciate it. All right, so the next segment that we have right about now, we will be talking about academic burnout. We want to explore what is academic burnout, what are the different things that can contribute to academic burnout. Is there a remedy for academic burnout? These are some of the questions, some of the things we want to be answered in this discussion. And joining us this evening, we have, of course, a mighty panel. We have Nisha Johnson from the UWI Mona. She recently completed her undergraduate studies in economics and statistics, double major, big deal, at the University of West Indies, Mona. She attends the Mannings Hill United Church and is a part of an the group called Christ Center, which was founded last summer. She's also co-host on the YUP, that's the YUP podcast, an initiative that was started earlier this year, aimed at sharing their walk as young Christians and learning more about their denomination and the people who work behind the scenes. And then, of course, we have Miss Deidreanne Mills, JP, applied behavioral therapist, who is a change specialist. She's a lecturer, a training consultant, a public speaker, researcher, and unpublished author. Interesting. And mentor. She is a single mother of one son. And as a training consultant, she has worked as part of a team in training schools island-wide in school-wide positive behavior interventions and supports. She recently launched her own practice, Healing Joy Behavioral Services, in ABA on October 8th, 2023. And of course, we are bringing back our honorable guest, Miss Kitanya Headley, head girl of the St. Catherine High School. Ladies, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for Campus Connection.
Good evening. Thank you for
Good
having me.
evening, sir.
Awesome. So this evening we're discussing academic burnout, right? We want to understand what can individuals do to overcome academic burnout or even prevent it from happening to them. And of course, listeners and viewers, you can join us. You can join in on the conversation by sending us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Or you can comment on our live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica on social media. We are more than waiting to hear from you. But before we dive into the discussion at hand, please, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more Campus Connection.
Here is your opportunity to connect with someone who will listen, pray, and give guidance. It's the Ministry of Counseling and Prayer of the Edgewater Baptist Church. Please call 876-220-6474 or 876-332-7956. Weekdays between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Please talk to someone if you're finding it particularly challenging to cope during this period of crisis. Someone is waiting for your call. Please reach out today, 876-220-6474 or 876 332-7956. It's the telephone counseling and prayer ministry of the Edgewater Baptist Church. A reminder that somebody cares. Endorsed by Love 101.
When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me.
When tape diapers are difficult to change, it's time for Pampers Easy Ups with 360 stretchy waistband. They're easy to put on and take off, keeping their skin dry and protected.
Changes are easy with Easy Ups.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
As a man living with HIV, a regular day for me, not much different from yours. I have to wake up and go to people and work in the traffic, but then when we reach, we can run some joke with my co-worker them. Sometimes we link up after work, or play ball, or just dip on my ends and kick back before we go home. You see how much we have in common? People living with HIV are a part of our community. Make we par, protect, accept, and respect. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Good afternoon. I'm Derek Ellis.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. I am Jonathan Fletcher. If you're just joining us, we are about to discuss something that I believe is very important: academic burnout. Do our students even face academic burnout, or are they just plain lazy? You know, these are some of the things we want to explore, because some people may just very well be saying, students are just lazy, especially this generation. But there is actually something called academic burnout, and we have here with us behavioral. Let me make sure that I get it right. Applied behavioral therapist, Miss Deidre Mills, and we have two students joining us for the conversation. So, Miss Mills, I want to start with you, right? Because we want to get rid of any myths going into this conversation. Is academic burnout even a thing? Let's start from there.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me, Mr. Fletcher and the team. Yes, academic burnout is real. It's not a myth. It's real. It's actually happened. And you heard the definition before, but let me repeat it. Academic burnout, it is a real condition that affects students. It is characterized by negative emotional and physical and mental reaction to prolonged study, leading to exhaustion, frustration, and reduce motivation and ability in school. Now, it is the culmination of many weeks or months of doing assignments, studying or working or doing projects, continuous years of studying and schooling. And this mustn't be confused with just a one-off feeling of occasional frustration, when you're doing an
That's a big point.
Yes, when you do an assignment and you say, oh man, I can't go
Can't bother.
I don't understand what the teacher asking about. So, or it's not just tiredness from an overnighter. Say you did an all-nighter. And the US students supposed to know some of those all-nighters. And especially doing a double major, we have to go. Sometimes we're going to our little cubicle and spend the night to study. It's not just a one-off thing. So it's more a chronic condition from a long-term study, of doing schoolwork. Right.
Got it. So students, please don't go to school tomorrow and say to your teacher, oh, I'm experiencing academic burnout, when in fact you are just probably tired from the assignment that you were up doing or because you were studying. We have to learn the difference. Academic burnout is a chronic, ongoing thing, right? While being tired and all of those things Those are just phases that you will go through as a part of the academic journey, right? So, Naisha, I want to bring you on the conversation. You recently completed your undergrad. Congratulations. Big deal. A double major. That's not easy. That's not an easy thing. And I want you to understand that you are amazing. Just by doing that, you're amazing.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, man, no problem. So, have you experienced academic burnout? Let's start from there. As a double major, as someone who has, yeah, talk to me about that.
I most definitely have experienced academic burnout, and I feel like I didn't quite understand the term until it happened because
Mm,
I, and as was mentioned, there's a difference between being tired and experiencing academic burnout because no matter how much you sleep, you're still going to be exhausted because it's not a physical fatigue that you're experiencing, it's more of a mental fatigue. So the only way that I found to remedy that is to just stop and to be still and to just try to not think about all the assignments you have to do. Do stuff
yes.
that you actually enjoy. But I most
Mhm.
definitely have experienced academic burnout.
Quite interesting. And Kitania, you are balancing, sports, being head prefect. You are balancing academics, cape, the whole works, right? And you are
Yes.
looking to go overseas to study further. Talk to me about academic burnout from the high school level. Does it sound similar to what Naisha would have explained?
Yes, sir, it definitely does. And as Dr. Mills would have mentioned, and Naisha, they said that we shouldn't confuse fatigue as academic burnout or just doing the all nighters or having a lot of assignments to do. And yes, you get them done and then you're feeling exhausted after. It definitely does relate the same, and they they really have the same characteristics.
Okay. So they are very similar. Okay, got it. Um, but what I want to understand, going back to you, Naisha, when you were studying at UA, right? What are some of the symptoms that you experience that now when you look back, you can say, boy, say a really academic burnout that I experienced. What are some of the symptoms? What are some of the things that you were experiencing?
So as mentioned, because it isn't physical fatigue, no matter how much I tried to sleep, I was still
Yeah.
mentally exhausted. And I remember
Mm,
having my final assignment, like to complete my undergrad studies. I had one assignment left to do. And but they just tired. Like I
mm,
I did not have the mental capacity to push through and to but I did. I did.
yeah.
At first I mentally couldn't. I sat up, I got up my laptop and I just couldn't. And
Yeah.
I had to take a break and I had to pause, go listen to some gospel music if I had to, but I mentally couldn't. And I was easily irritated too. Like the slightest thing got me so, because I was just not myself, for lack of a better
Mm,
term. I was, yeah. When you're academically stressed, it's going
yeah.
to show in your overall being. You're not going to be good mentally, emotionally, physically, because I've gotten sick from burnout before, and
Mm,
you put your body under immense pressure to try to stay on top of things, and you physically get sick. I remember one day
yeah.
I got up, a weekend I got up, and I could not do anything but lay in bed. That was how bad it
Wow.
got. So, and I
Wow.
feel like acknowledging them and dealing with it and understanding that it is academic burnout will save you a lot of time and
Yeah.
a lot of health too, because if I had noticed from before, I could have taken a step back and paced myself and probably wouldn't have gotten sick. So yeah.
Wow. I want to bring our therapist in. I think this is a good place to bring our therapist in. You would have heard the different symptoms that Naisha would have experienced, Miss Mills.
Yes.
What are some of the things that we can do to ensure that this doesn't happen? These things don't happen to lead to academic burnout.
I'm glad you asked that question, Mr. Fletcher, because I think prevention is is more important than the cure. I mean, if you're there, we'll deal with it. However, to overcome or to prevent academic burnout, I'm glad for Titania that we spoke to her earlier because she outlined, I mean, almost everything that I wanted to touch. Time management is one of the
Yes.
most important things. And she outlined that very well. And she is really impressive. When I listened to her, I was like, wow. You know, I was wowed by her. Because I'm saying this young lady, she was able to manage, or she's managing her time. She's staying motivated. She's staying focused. And this is what we want to see in our young people. So she spoke about balancing the academics with the sports, with the extracurricular activities, which is very important. She spoke about being disciplined. You know, she spoke about really taking care of yourself, you know, getting enough rest. She spoke about setting goals, and this is very important to prevent burnout. You need to set smart goals. And these smart goals, that is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And after
Mm.
you set your goals, you need to break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. So when you look at your schedule and you are able to say, okay, this task required this amount of work, and you look at the dates and you set your dates and said, I'll prioritize, I'll do this one first because this is due first. And
Yes.
you really have to prioritize and look at your schedule, organizing your schedule. That is very important. And encouragement from family. She spoke about that, you know, and I like what she said. Her guardian said, worthy and worth it.
Love it.
Love,
Yes.
lovely. And
Yeah.
saying, if we can encourage our young people in this way, I think she should be like, you know, out there being an advocate for young people.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, yes, man. She's very impressive. She's on the honor roll, and she's very focused, and I like that. You know, when you set your goals, she said sometimes she take out her book and she is able to encourage herself.
Hmm.
So balance is important. Of course, you need some me time, your hobbies, and what I encourage students to do is manage your time. I know you love to go on social media, you love to go on TikTok and whatever. I mean, that is not bad in itself. However, if you are not careful, that can take up so much of your time. And by time you realize time is gone and you feel like you're under pressure.
So
And
true.
so, yes, so you have to manage your time. As Kitana said, you have to manage the time. So remember, always remember that your work comes first. You know, there's this pre-mac system in our, what we call our behavior, AB, where the theory is a theory of reinforcement, you know, that states that a less desired behavior can be reinforced by the opportunity to engage in a more desired behavior. That means, what this means is that, right, some student might be averse to studying and doing assignments and so on, but yet they love to go on social media. So in order to reinforce the good behavior, the desired behavior, what you do, you say, okay, I'm going to get the assignments, I'm going to get all my work out the way, and then I'm going to spend half an hour doing the social media. So we are not saying that you must just isolate yourself, because that is what we cause the burnout. You know,
Yes.
not isolating yourself, however, is managing. And you have to learn this from, I mean, students have to learn this from they are young. Because when we go in the work world, I'm telling you, if you are not able to manage your time and organize yourself, you will definitely lead to burnout. And so this is a good topic, and we have to encourage our children and teach them how to have the right balance.
Absolutely. And that's a good place to take a break because I want it to really soak, you know? I
Yes.
want the information to really marinate and for our campus sites to really think about what was said just now. So please join us on the other side of the break after we take these messages.
Every Thursday morning, Love 101 shares with you power-packed messages, words of encouragement, and testimonies of God's miraculous power. You get all of that in the Don't Give Up broadcast, brought to you by Celebration Church at the Portmore Skating Rink in the Portmore Mall with Pastor Prophet Michael Carter. Be sure to stay tuned to Love 101 for the Don't Give Up broadcast. Get the word you need to start your day right. The Don't Give Up broadcast, Thursdays at 5:15 a.m. on the family station, Love 101.
Think ahead, make a plan. We got the freedom of choice.
Like long-acting reversible contraceptives.
I made my choice 6 years ago. I have an IUCD, also called copper T, and it will go and protect me from pregnancy for another 4 years at least.
My choice was an implant. It lasts for 5 years. And when I'm ready for a baby, I just make doctor take it out. Contact the National Family Planning Board at 9681632 to find out more about the line.
Think ahead, make a plan. We got the freedom of choice.
Wine at your tank, you know wine at your tank. Drive smart, no ramp. Wine at your tank. If a 87 you can use, put 87 in your tank. If you know which fuel you use, vehicle manual find it. Tough car in a Jamaica, they can use 87. And a petrol refined. So use the RTN for the car where you're driving. And let me tell you some more. If a 87 your vehicle use, you are rev up the savings for sure. Know your tank fuel right. You pocket have a smile. Rev up the savings. Savings on every mile. Brought to you by Petrojam, serving Jamaica's energy needs.
If you are just joining us, we are talking about academic burnout. Welcome back to Campus Connection. And you are listening, of course, to Jonathan Fletcher, and we're joined by a lovely panel, Nisha Johnson, DJ and Mills JP, applied behavioral therapist, and of course, Kitania Headley, head girl at the St. Catherine High School. And we basically touched on some very important aspects of things we need to do to prevent academic burnout. But now we want to jump into what are some of the things we can do to actually overcome academic burnout, right? And I want to start off with Nisha. What are some of the practical things? Notice I emphasize on practical. So if you could give us some actual things that you did to escape academic burnout.
Okay, so a part of what was mentioned, like to kind of introduce me, was that I'm a part of the Yacht podcast. That was something that was added to my, I guess, my resume kind of for the year. And I was also an intern at the Grace Kennedy Foundation. So there was a lot that I had to be spreading my time to do. So as was mentioned, time management. I realized that physically writing out my to-do lists, they helped me to get through the day and to not feel so pressured thinking about all the things that I had to do in my head. If I had it physically in front of me and I ticked off the boxes, it kind of gave me ease, and it made me feel accomplished, and it helped me to manage my time more and to go through the day a lot smoother. Um, Taking care of myself also helped. Um, so being intentional about taking time for me and getting into my word, because whenever I was balancing my time well and getting into my word, being around people who lifted me up, not only academically but spiritually, it kind of, this peace that I got was crazy, very inexplicable, and it just helped me to get through the tough times a lot easier. So
Yeah.
those are some of the things that I applied that definitely helped with dealing with and kind of avoiding the academic burnout.
Love that. Love that. And based on what Naisha would have said, Kitania, as a high school student, you are getting ready to transition to the space of university, which is, way more, yeah, it's real out there in these
Yes,
streets.
sir.
But based on what you've experienced, and I'm so happy that you took the time out to be so involved in different aspects of school, because I believe it's a precursor, if you will, to what you'll really experience on the university campus. So, what are you looking forward to the most as a university student?
I'm looking forward to furthering my study and to, of course, compete because I'm very passionate about running. But at the same time, I want to explore other options. I want to see where I can push myself, how far I can push myself, and I want to explore what else is out there outside of just going to school and attending training.
Mm, love that. Love that. And Miss Mills, based on where you sit, because you're also a mother, right? What would you
Right.
say to parents who they're probably realizing that their child is sleeping more than normal, schoolwork not really a take like what it used to take? The symptoms are evident, right, as relates to academic burnout. What would you say to that parent?
Well, I would encourage parents to really encourage their children to have a balanced schedule and a downtime. A lot of times, the parents are one of the factor, to be honest, of the burnout in our children because yes, the workload is there and we pressure them sometime. Of course, you want the best for your child and you want them to become an engineer, a doctor, or those noble professions. And we pressure them into high academic performance, which is not bad. I'm not saying that is bad. However, the expectations are so great on them. So what
Yeah.
I would encourage parents to do is to be empathetic of your child. Empathize with them, listen to them. You understand there are times when they are really down and we instead of finding out what is happening, we say they're lazy and
Yes.
yes, and we saying you can do better and we say things to discourage them. Not that we really want to do that, but in order to, sometimes we want to motivate them and we said negative. Right. So what I'd encourage parents to do is try to encourage them and teach them how to balance because a lot of it doesn't come naturally that you know how to balance.
Hmm.
You understand? So we have to teach them and teach them how to set realistic goals and how they can manage it. And oh, I like what's her name? Nisha from UA. She said
Hmm.
one of the things that she did was have a list of to do, what is to be done. And in
Yes.
this way, you are able to tick off what is done. So we can really teach them how to do checklists. We can encourage them just to have a mindset of growth. And even if they fall down on a course or a subject, we can encourage them to, yeah, this is not the end of the world. This is how you can get up back. So encouragement is very important. And help them to, develop that time management, organizational skills, prioritize their physical, and mental well-being. Because mentally it is important, for them to stay focused.
Yes.
So we have to encourage that in them, and as I said before, they don't really know it naturally. So parents play a very important and celebrate their efforts and their progress, not just their achievements. Sometimes we just look at the A's and we do not see how they put out, how much effort they put out to get, where they are. So we play a very important part as parents, and we have to really get with it. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Boy, this has been a very eye-opening conversation to say the least. I'm so very happy that we took the time out to explore academic burnout, and for I'm hoping that hopefully our listeners, our parents, our guardians, teachers, everybody who is involved in the stakeholder sphere of campuses will really understand that academic burnout is a real thing and it should not be taken lightly, and that our campus sites will do the necessary things to ensure that even if they're experiencing academic burnout, that they pull themselves out of this, and if they're not, please, as much as possible, steer away from academic burnout. Ladies, thank you so much for making the campus connection. Really do appreciate you being a part of this conversation. But quickly, Nisha, do you have anybody you want to big up?
As mentioned in the little bio, I'd like to big up Christ Center, my group of people who keep me
Yeah.
grounded. So big up on yourself all the time.
Awesome, awesome. Miss Mills, anybody you want to shout out your business, anything?
Yes, I like to shout out Kingdom 180, the church that I attend. My
Mm-hmm.
Apostle Dr. Neva Campbell, the church, my birth church, Chisholm Avenue, Seventh Day Church of God, and
Mm-hmm.
all stuff friends, my relative overseas might be listening also. Right. Remember, just remember that you are important, and our children's future is shaped by the world that we create for them. So by
Yes.
instilling hope, values, and support, we can empower them to build a brighter future for all.
Awesome, awesome. Kitania, anybody you want to shout out?
Oh yes, sir, I would. I would like to give a shout out to my St. Catherine High School family, my guardian, Auntie Shelley,
Mm-hmm.
my my family, my sister, my dad, our principal, Mr. Marlon Campbell, my teammates, my friends, and of course, all my well wishers out there. I thank you all for your support, and I'm really grateful.
Awesome, awesome. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our awesome panel joining us this evening to discuss academic burnout. We're ever so grateful that you would have taken the time out to be a part of this panel, and wish you all the very best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All
Same to
right.
you.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. So that's it. That's the end of this evening's show. Next week, you want to join us. We'll be talking about fathers' presence in schools. That's Tuesday, June 11th. So you want to be a part of that show. Same time, 5:30, right here on the family station. Big up to the team, big up to the team, big up to the team. Dr. Nadine Blair, Jermaine Johnson, Timothy Butler, Shania Smith, David Sutton, and Latifa Reed, Raquel Robertson, Ruth Lawrence, thank you so much for doing what you do behind the scenes every single week to ensure that we look good and sound good on or in Campus Connection. And of course, to our wonderful guests, thank you so much for making it Campus Connection this evening. Of course, Evalicia Sutherland, Miss Kitania Headley, Derek Ellis, Naisha Johnson, and Miss Deidre Mills. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection. That's it for our show this week. See you next week as we explore more things while go on Pan Campus.
Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you.